What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Redriveraviation. Hope you're having a fantastic day today. And today we have the January 2025 Destin for Walton Beach International Airport update for you all. I really hope each and every one of you are excited for today's video, as today we check out Destin for the first time in 2025. It's going to be a big year here at the airport, and I'm really excited to jump in and see what this airport's got for us here to start out the year. So without any further delay, let's go ahead and get started. Now, it is worth noting that Destin won't see its peak until obviously June and July of this year, so very seasonal operation, but we still have some nice highlights here for January, and as the year progresses, we'll get to see the airport progress with it. So it'll be awesome and looking very forward to it. Starting right here with the Southwest 737-700 coming in from Dallas Love Field. This aircraft's now heading out to Nashville. These are the only two destinations right now, although we will have destinations like Houston and Baltimore returning by March and April. So looking very forward to that, and we'll definitely keep our eye on it moving into those months. But yeah, a little bit slower here, but that's perfectly fine. We still have the service, which again, they're still a new airline. They started service in 2021. So we definitely have to admire the effort and what it's looked like here for Southwest over the time frame. Next up here at Gate B2, we have a Delta 717 heading out to Atlanta today, which continues to be a focal point route here for Delta. Of course, this is their bread and butter. We're obviously accustomed to that, but it's always fun to highlight and just think about all the capacity that they have, along with the amazing load factors they achieve on a regular basis. So looking very nice, and very glad to feature this aircraft here in today's Destin update. Looks really good. Our next aircraft is going to be their Airbus 319 heading over to Minneapolis, St. Paul. Great to see the service still rocking loading through the winter. Other airports I know, like Reno, for example, don't have the service in the winter to MSP. It's once again, that airport's very seasonal too for the Delta ops. So very cool to see this one remaining strong though, and rightfully so. This aircraft's going to be heading out there as we speak, and it's very cool to see it here on the midday flight. So definitely a good time of day for this service to come in and get what it needs to done before it heads back over to obviously Minneapolis, St. Paul. So I'll be interested to see at some point down the road if they ever rotate it through Atlanta, meaning like MSP, Destin, Atlanta, or equivalent. But yeah, definitely looking nice regardless of the case. Our next aircraft here at B4 is the American E-175, operated for Envoy Air. This aircraft is going to be making a flight today to Dallas-Fort Worth, which continues to be a staple on Envoy. I think by probably March or April, we'll see the mainline back. So it's been nice to have the Envoy 175s. They're really nice aircraft for passengers, to be completely honest. So yeah, they definitely get the job done. It's great to see them. So honestly, not bad at all, and it's great to see right here at the Destin setup. So glad to see that. And at B5, we do have a change finally. It took a while, but we have ran into a major change. This is the American CRJ-900 for PSA Airlines. This aircraft's heading out to Charlotte Dulles International Airport today, which unfortunately is down to the CRJ here. It probably will be touched till March, but just a little bit less demand here, so that's what we're exhibiting here. I think Pensacola got the better side of the main line for 2025 to begin, but I'm sure that the main line will be back soon enough. So yeah, looking forward to seeing what kind of mainline jets we'll see this year. Probably 318s, 320s, 321s, hopefully, maybe even some 737s, of course. I'm sure we'll see those too. So I'm excited to see how it all come together, and definitely keeping my eye close on it and following it closely. So stay tuned here in these airport updates to see how the service progresses. But yeah, the PSA 900 is just like the 175, not a bad aircraft for passengers, so can't complain too much, and providing a pretty good experience there connecting through Charlotte, and definitely try to connect in the regional side if you're coming in on a regional, because otherwise the connection is probably going to be a pretty nice little walk. But that's not to scare anyone. That's just saying that you do need time if you're going to go from a regional jet to a mainline flight at CLT. Just a fair warning and heads up. At B6, we have ever consistent CRJ-700 for PSA and American Eagle heading over to Washington National. This has been very consistent, not much fluctuation. You'll see a 175 here and there on like Saturdays, but otherwise it has mainly been the 700s. So I'm sure we'll see the beautiful E-175 come back sometime later in the year, but for now, this aircraft's looking strong and definitely a healthy start here to 2025. Let's go head over to A1, where we'll find the Sun Country 737-800. Very cool to see this here during this time of year. Very impressive. Heading out to Minneapolis, St. Paul. You can catch this a couple times a week. I think they mainly go for, it's either Thursday, Sunday, or Monday, Friday. They put it on their best days. So very impressive, considering obviously that Destin is, it's one of those airports where you'd think they'd get away with the Wednesday, Saturday, but it appears that it's working out well here for them. So very cool to see it, and they have much more availability, very similar to the Delta flights. Very, very seasonal operation, although they do continue to fly year-round to the bigger cities pretty consistently. So definitely interesting to think about Sun Country and their operations. I'm sure they spend this time doing more charters for various purposes like sports teams and others. But anyway, looking strong regardless here, and it's great to feature Sun Country here at the airport no matter what capacity they're here in. So that's very nice. Okay, Moving up the Allegiant gate so we can take a look here. So similar set of what we talked about previously. Now we will see several Allegiant routes return next month, so I'll go ahead and talk about those briefly and then we'll highlight them more next time. So the routes that will be returning next month include Columbus, Indianapolis, and Louisville. Louisville won't be here for February. So we have, was it 2? Yeah, so we'll have Columbus and Indianapolis coming back in February, so that'll be cool. And then in March, we'll have a nice variety of routes also returning. So it'll be cool to have those routes back. But for now, we start with obviously what we currently have here for the Allegiant gates. Starting here at C2, we have this Allegiant A319 in the new livery. I can't find my new livery 320. I've looked for it. I really hope by next update I'll be able to feature it because I really want to feature it. I just literally cannot find it. So don't worry, I do have that aircraft. I just cannot find it. But here's the 319. At least I can find one new livery plane. This aircraft's heading out to St. Louis today after coming in from Newark. So looking very strong there for that particular frame. And C3, we have this A320. This one's coming in from Minneapolis, and now it's going to be making a flight to Louisville today. So very nice to see that one. And we have this Airbus A319 right here coming in from Chicago Midway, and now it's heading out to Grand Rapids. So you'll catch most of those just twice a week. It's a very seasonal operation. They only keep a handful of aircraft in here. 3 is the most you'll see at the gates. You'll most of the time just see 1 or 2 during this time of year. So very seasonal building here, but obviously during the summer, it's just astronomical revenue for Allegiant. So you can definitely justify having this building. Now I would like to see Allegiant, continue to try to enhance that lineup in the winter as much as they can. I do think that there's, great potential even to maybe even give like a Sioux Falls a go or whatever northern city you want to try, even like a Traverse City maybe, I do think there's other operations out there that, may cater even more to the winter ops. Obviously you got to also think about, catering to the best demographic you could try to cater to is people that don't want to go in the water. If they're going to want to go in the water, it's not going to go very well, and they're not going to be retainable passengers for this time of year. So your goal would be to find people that just want to lay on the beach, and it's pretty tough, obviously, but I'm sure there's a couple places there where you do pretty well. So obviously they do have a handful of routes, obviously very northern cities for the most part, with a couple of outliers. So anyway, though, regardless of the case, it looks nice, and definitely glad to feature it here in today's airport update. We do have a beautiful C-17 here. Let me get it in the better light with that reference right there. There we go. C-17 from McCauley Air Force Base. So obviously hinting at various military operations throughout. Now we'll just say this is here just for training purposes, of course, because I can't predict the future. I'm filming this in October, so who knows what's going on. But anyway, it's great to see it. Just getting a couple of different perspectives there. Pretty cool with those illusions in the background, to be quite honest. That's a pretty cool shot, to be completely honest. So yeah, cool to feature it here today, and it definitely looks real nice. So C-17 once again is heading out to McCauley Air Force Base, so very cool to see that. It's a pretty long flight for it, but C-17 is a very capable airplane. If you've ever been to an air show, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Last aircraft is this Delta 717 coming in from Atlanta as well. It's going to be heading back out there. Love getting all that capacity out there, and definitely justification as they have 2 overnights. I think that's the only destination that overnight 2 planes. I might be wrong. I don't think Charlotte does. It might. But anyway, whatever the case is, it's cool to think about all these planes, what overnights, and what capacity we have on all these routes. So there's the beginning of 2025 here at the Destin Fort Walton Beach International Airport. I really hope all of you enjoyed this. Definitely a nice variety of aircraft and just plenty going on here. So it's really great to think about what's going to be happening here in the future. It's definitely an exciting time, and I'm really excited to think about the future here, and it's going to be awesome. So in the next update, you'll see some changes, hopefully some new models, and some other various enhancements, as this is the last update I'm recording for this batch. So it'll be a much different time and place when we're back to film the next round of updates. But with that being said, that'll do for today's video. Everybody, thank you all so much for watching. I want to thank each and one of you for watching. My name is Redriveraviation. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe. Trust the process. Do you love and love you do. My name is Redriveraviation. Excuse me. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon as Redriveraviation is signing off.